be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. It's Wednesday, March 22nd, which means it's quote day. And for today's quote, I have, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." Franklin D. Roosevelt. And I really like this quote because it approaches the value of stretching and doing difficult things in a very interesting and unique way. Because obviously, if we always continue to sail the comfortable, smooth waters of a place that we already know and we feel safe, we become very good in a small environment. It's like swimming in a kiddie pool, right? If you know you can touch the ground, there's no fear, you don't really become a better swimmer. And I think that in order for us to achieve an elite level of who we are and what we are capable of, we have to get comfortable with getting into challenging situations. We have to stretch ourselves. We have to do things beyond what we know we're capable of. And this is a unique place to be because we've never been there, and it makes us scared and uncomfortable, and we tend to kind of hold and reserve ourselves back, but it's ultimately the most valuable thing we can do. When you look at your day, how often are you stepping out of your comfort zone? When you look at the normal ebbs and flows of your typical day, how often are you uncomfortable? How often are you stepping into a place where you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do this right, or this is going to challenge me, this is going to stretch me. Most people, I find, rarely do this. There might be an occasion here and there. It might be once or twice a month, maybe a handful of times. But those who find extreme levels of success, they start reaching for excellence and greatness, they tend to try to get there a lot more often. And I think that that's part of the reason why they make it there, because when you get put in those situations, you are forced to learn on the fly with things that are happening. Let's go back to the sailing quote here. If you're always sailing in the comfortable seas, and the first time you step into the open waters, there's a new type of wind that shows up. It's a nor'easter. I don't know. I'm not real good at sailing, so let's just go with that. But it's stronger. It's from a different direction. It's making the seas rougher. All of a sudden, everything about your surroundings has changed. But you have the basic skills and you start to apply them, and all of a sudden you learn that those skills can be used in this new environment. You've just learned a new way to navigate and to work and to develop this process to get through this challenging situation. Without that stress, we wouldn't have found ourselves working into this new ability to apply that knowledge. So try to find something today where you can add challenge to it, where you can make yourself uncomfortable. You can do this task at a different level. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what you learn. Let me know how you apply the current skills you have to that situation. And then imagine what it would be like if you did that every day. How much better you would get. There's a lot of change that's happened in my life since starting this podcast, through conversations, through spending time on the mic with you guys, and just getting comfortable being slightly uncomfortable. I recommend that we all try to get to that point where we have some discomfort in our lives that force us to grow, adapt, change, and become the more skilled sailor. As always, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face, remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.